down.
Well, keep in mind that Donovan marching the ball right down the throats of the Panthers of Point Pleasant Boro and doing it without their probably top running back, Nasir Calhoun, who is injured on the sideline and not dressed for this one with an ankle injury.
Griffins may see more carries from Loftland, Dominic Nacero, Damian Johnson, who just had that last carry. Clark is going to take this one himself up the middle, gets to the 10, to the 5, runs left, touchdown Donovan Catholic. Ryan Clark. Opening possession of the game, and it's Ryan Clark, the quarterback, who puts the Griffins on the scoreboard first. They lead 6-0.
His 6th running touchdown of the season for Clark, the 6'1", 215-pound junior, who is one of the leading rushers on this team. And we saw on that drive, the Griffins go right down the field. Outstanding job by their offensive line. And will now have the extra point attempt by Keon Torres.
Torres' kick is up, and this one is good. We're going to keep it right here. Donovan Catholic taking the early 7-0 lead over the Point Boro Panthers.
The Jersey Mike's Game of the Week on 92.7 WOBM and the Shore Sports Network is powered by Jersey Mike's. Order Jersey Mike's for your game day party. Even if your team doesn't win, your mouth will. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above. And by Toyota World of Lakewood. Your Jersey Shore dealer is the exclusive auto sponsor of our Game of the Week. They are Toyota World of Lakewood on the border of Brick and Lakewood. Shop them 24/7 at lakewoodtoyota.com.
Keon Torres on for the Griffins to kick it back to Point Boro. We'll get the ball for the first time tonight. 8:44 left to go in the opening quarter. Two back to receive for the Panthers on their own 5.
Kyle Komanitsky and Ryan Visco are the return men deep for Point Boro.
And the kick by Torres goes right down the middle, right to about the 10-yard line. And running it up to about the 15-yard line is Oran. And that's where Point Boro will take over on offense.
Stop made by Cormier Green from Donovan Catholic, and we'll see the Point Boro offense for the first time tonight.
Point Boro offense, Garrett Romer, the quarterback tonight. Kyle Komanitsky, Christian Oran, and Bobby Cooper are the backs. Ryan Visco, Nick Tuzolino are the receivers for the Panthers. And we'll set the offensive line in just a second. Panthers begin just outside their own 15-yard line.
After this play, we'll let Ed Sarluca explain the Point Boro offense.
Flag on the play right before the snap.
Panthers head coach is Brian Staub, his first year, formerly the offensive coordinator here. And now the first year as the head coach for Donovan Catholic. It's Dan Curcione, his second season with the Griffins, 5th season overall as a head coach in the Shore Conference. Previously had been the coach at Wall High School.
A little movement on the Griffins. 5-yard penalty, a 1st and 5 for the Panthers. Romer sends a man in motion. And gain of a couple on the play up the middle is Bobby Cooper. That'll bring up a 2nd and short for the Panthers. Offensive line at center, Dan Mecchia. At guard, Michael Mayfield and Chris Bowd, Scott Franceschini, and Ryan Stencil are the tackles for the Panthers tonight. 2 receivers split left. Romer under center. Sends Komanitsky in motion. But he's going to take this one himself. Spins away to the left sideline, gets to about the 31-yard line before he's brought down by Evan Menta.
Ed, explain the Point Boro offense.
Well, it's a flexbone offense with Garrett Romer running it very well. He will read the defensive tackle or the defensive end for Donovan Catholic and either give it off to his ace back, which is Bobby Cooper, keep it outside of the defensive end, or pitch it to one of the outside guys. He's got 3 options. He makes good decisions.
2 receivers split out to each side. He's got a man in the slot. Romer gets under center. taking a look across the line at the Donovan Catholic defense. Knows what he wants to do. Sends Komanitsky in motion. But he's going to run this one himself. Doesn't gain much on the play before he's brought down. Looks like he may have even lost a yard there. Brought down by Chris Aldritz, the defensive end. The other defensive end, Nick Kenmure. Nico Ippolito is the nose tackle for the Griffins tonight, setting up the rest of the defense. Evan Menta, John Schlendorf are the corners. Yasin Moore and Jared Hilstowski are the safeties for the Griffins. 2nd down and 10. Just about 7 minutes left to go in the opening quarter. Griffins leading 7-0 over the Panthers.
Looks like they're trying to shorten the game, waiting until the last minute, Kev.
Sure does, Ed.
Komanitsky in motion. And this is a give up the middle. Maybe a gain of a yard or two on the play.
On the other side of the football, against this flex bone, Donovan Catholic's got to set their priorities. You know, who do you want to stop first? You want to stop the quarterback, the dive back, or you want to stop the wingman? In this case, I think they got to stop Romer, the quarterback.
3rd down and 9 for the Panthers. Man goes in motion, stops. As Romer reads the defense, he's under center. And Romer's going to keep this one himself, gets drilled after a gain of a yard on the play, and brought down by Nick Kenmure. Linebackers for the Griffins tonight, Xavier Ellis, Kamir Green, Dominic Nocero, and Jadir Loftlin.
That'll bring up a 4th down. By the way, Vin, amazingly, Kenmure, one of only 3 seniors on this Donovan Catholic team, almost unheard of.
That's amazing when you say that.
He sure is. He's a key player, also the center on offense.
Komanitsky on to punt for the Panthers. Evan Menta back at about his own 37-yard line, waiting to receive the punt. Some movement up front, and a flag.
Still will not be a 1st down, that offside penalty on Donovan Catholic. It'll probably be about a 4th and 2. May make the Panthers think about it, and Brian Staub, the first-year head coach.
That'd be the 2nd offside penalty by the Griffins on this drive.
This will drive first-year head coaches crazy. Plays like this, downs like this. 4th and 2. It looks like they're going to send the offense back on the field.
Well, they're a desperate football team. They absolutely have to win this game. Not surprised that they're going to take an early chance here with just 5:20 left in the opening quarter. And it looks like on 4th down and 2, the Panthers will go for it.
Well, give it to your best kid, and that's Romer.
Receivers split to each side. Romer under center. Sends Komanitsky in motion, and more movement up front.
Well, they won't have to make that decision, Mr. Garrett Romer, as Donovan Catholic, their 3rd, Vin, as you said, offside of this early football game.
Griffins giving the Panthers a 1st down on back-to-back whistles without a play being snapped. 5 minutes left to go in the opening quarter. Griffins leading 7-0. Panthers on their first possession of the game. Ball just outside their own 44.
Ryan Clark with the touchdown run on the Griffins' first series as Donovan Catholic leads at 7-0.
Romer sends a man in motion. He's going to give to Komanitsky. Komanitsky's going to get to about midfield before he's brought down for a gain of about 5. Brought down by Loftlin and Nocero. 2nd down for the Panthers.
This 4-game losing streak for Point Boro has been amazing. As I said, a total of 13 points. They lost on a field goal on the final play, a game in which they scored late, went for 2 to win it, didn't make it, and then on an overturned call in a game in which they were using the instant replay.
Panthers have 2 receivers split to the left. Romer reading across the line. The Griffins defense sends a man in motion. He's going to keep this one himself. Gets to the 45, to the 40, to the 30. Breaking away, gets to the 20, down to the 10-yard line. Garrett Romer, touchdown, Point Boro Panthers.
Well, each quarterback has gotten one on the board. For Romer, that's his 10th rushing touchdown of the season. and that will put him at about the 800-yard mark. As Ed said earlier, when it looked like they were going to go for it, you put the ball in your best player's hands, and offensively he has been.
Boy, we may see a lot of fireworks tonight. Neither defense doing the job so far tonight.
It will be Oren on to attempt the extra point.
A little movement across the line already. Oren's kick, and there's the whistle. Oren's kick is good. We'll see where the whistle is as the flag is thrown. And
procedure.
On point, Boro.
Donovan Catholic again sort of moving up to the line of scrimmage just before the snap, but I guess that time it was the Panthers who moved.
Yeah, they had a reason to move that time. Early movement by the white team. Point Pleasant Boro will move him back 5 yards, by the way. That kick was clear and long right through the middle of the uprights.
Backed up a few yards. Oren will try the PAT once again. And the second try, the kick, is good again. Tied at 7. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout. Panthers, Griffins, tied at 7. Opening quarter. You're listening to the Jersey Mike's Game of the Week on 92.7 WOBM.
Jersey Mike's Ocean County Football on the Shore Sports Network.
92.7 WOBM FM, Toms River.
A Town Square media station.
If you need orthopedic care, turn to Seaview Orthopedics. They have a specially trained staff of board-certified and fellowship-trained physicians who specialize in general orthopedics, as well as joint replacement, sports medicine, arthritis care, physiatry, pain management, and pediatric orthopedics. They believe in earning the trust of their patients and their families, not only by providing the highest quality and leading-edge medical care, but also with sincere compassion. To find a location near you, visit SeaviewOrtho.com.
Now back to Jersey Mike's Ocean County Football
On 92.7 WOBM and ShoreSportsNetwork.com.
Our opening score presented by the Jeep Store. There's great deals during Jeep Adventure Days at the Jeep Store, Route 35, Ocean Township, or thejeepstore.com. Get ready for any adventure at the Jeep Store in Ocean Township.
Panthers and Griffins tied at 7, 3:46 left to go in the opening quarter. Both quarterbacks doing the scoring tonight, Clark and Romer, as the kick goes back to the Griffins, and at their own 15, running it up the left sideline, getting it to the 20, thereabouts, is where the Griffins will take over. Johnson on the return as the Griffins roll back on offense, 3:42 left. Kev, do you see this as a sort of a trap game for Donovan? Yeah, they got a playoff spot secured, but they got to clean some things up.
I would have thought that, Vin, but because that set, the group they're in, non-public 3, will be seeded, they feel with a win tonight they could actually vault over St. John Vianney and maybe go from the 5 to the 4 spot. So I don't think they're going to play this one like that.
And no matter who they play in the playoffs, they're up for a tough match.
Yeah, the difference there is now if they are the 4, they get a home game.
That's correct. Good point, Ed.
If they're a 5, they got to go on the road.
Yep.
Clark setting up the offense for the Griffins. Ball on their own 30-yard line. And a timeout by Donovan Catholic.
We'll keep it right here. This is an incredibly young team, this Griffin team. I mentioned, and Ned and I have both agreed, we don't ever remember a team with only 3 seniors. 3 seniors, 15 juniors, 13 sophomores, and 19 freshmen on their roster. And I cannot remember the last time I saw a freshman offensive lineman start. The left guard for Donovan is Dominic Brogna, who is a freshman, 6'2", 220-pound freshman. He's a starter on the offensive line, which in itself is very unusual. But they've also got a host of other freshmen they're very high on. We'll get a chance to see tonight the freshman tight end Levi Wilkins, 6'3", 200-pounder. So this is a team that clearly appears to have its better days ahead of them. But, of course, those 3 seniors are most concerned about what happens the rest of this season, and they want that season to go on. They actually have one other, let's call it regular season game left. They play Manchester every year the week before the playoffs, depending on, of course, the situation, but that game's still on their schedule.
Ryan Clark, the junior quarterback, year number 3, quarterback starter for the past 3 seasons, the last 2 under Dan Curcione. He's going to roll right, fires one down towards midfield, and this one, it was a toss-up between Komanitsky and Tuzolino, and that one falls incomplete. So check that, you sin more.
Donovan Catholic then using a wristband system on offense. So they actually put the play in from the sideline. Everybody checks their wristband. So far, they haven't really been in sync. It's cost them 2 timeouts with 3:34 left in the first quarter. They only have 1 left in this first half.
2nd down and 10 for the Griffins. Clark getting the play from the sidelines as Johnson, one of the players to walk off for the Griffins. 3:34 left to go in the opening quarter. We're tied at 7. Handoff goes to the right side. And getting out of bounds around the 40-yard line was Bivens.
As I said on the opening drive, Bivens is lined up as a wide receiver, but he will carry it quite a bit. He's got 18 carries for 175 yards this year and 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah, so far I've been very impressed with the speed of Donovan Catholic. They are getting outside of the Panther defense, mainly Bivens, as you said, Kev.
1st down and 10, 3:28 left to go in the first. Ball on the Griffins' 40. Little movement. And this one's a give up the middle for the Griffins, gain of a couple on the play.
Laughlin, the ball carrier for Donovan. Picks up a couple yards. Bobby Cooper in on the stop. Point Boro plays what they call a 3-3 stack defense. 3 linemen, 3 linebackers, but then Oren and Cooper will move around and will actually play as safeties, but will come up on the line of scrimmage quite often.
2nd down and 6. Bivens gets the carry to the left on the sweep, gets past the 40 to the 45, close to midfield before he's pushed out of bounds, close to a Griffins 1st down.
Again, the Panthers getting outside of the Donovan Catholic defensive ends and outside backers.
Scott Franciscini on the stop for the Panthers. Clock stopped at 2:42 as the Griffins driving on their 2nd possession of the opening quarter.
Actually, the Griffins getting outside of the Panthers.
Is that what did I say?
Yeah, you said it the opposite way.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the 2nd game Donovan Catholic has played on this new turf field, and obviously the speed guys love it.
Clark getting it on this one? No.
3rd and short. Laughlin with the carry up the middle. Check that. Quamir Wilson. And that's good enough for a Griffins 1st down. Quamir Green. And a 1st down for the Griffins.
So this Donovan Catholic running game off to a good start as we close in on the 2-minute mark of this opening quarter. 2 possessions. They scored on their first, and they're now in Point Boro territory on their 2nd.
Griffins driving, 2:14 left to go in the quarter. Clark looking to pass, fires one down the middle. This one caught and running down to the 10-yard line was the tight end Levi Wilkins.
Well, that's the freshman I just talked about, Ed. And you and I chatted with offensive coordinator Chip LaBarca, raved about this young man during a pregame.
Yeah, very high on him for only a freshman.
Quick snap. Clark's going to run this one up the middle. Gets to the 5. Down to the 3, pushing for more with the offensive line. Doesn't quite get there, pushed around the 3-4 yard line, brought down by a host of Point Boro Panthers there.
Jonathan Nugent, the cornerback, in on at first.
Well, right now, Point Pleasant Boro is on their heels. They've got to reorganize this defense because they are getting it run right down their throats. 2 possessions right now.
Balls. Go ahead, Ed.
I was just going to say, as Catholic looks to take the 1 touchdown lead.
Getting the carry up the middle. Close to the goal line. Doesn't look like no signal. Didn't quite get in. Brought down around the 1. Looked to be Bivens.
But it is a 1st down.
Check that. Quamir Green.
good for a first down.
So it is first down and goal for Donovan Catholic. An impressive opening quarter offensively for both teams.
As we cross 45 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Griffins and Panthers tied at 7. Griffins looking to punch it in once again. Clark in the shotgun sends a man in motion. He's going to run this one up the middle, gets to the goal line. Touchdown, Donovan Catholic.
Well, Ryan Clark's second touchdown run of the night and 7th on the season, and the Griffins go ahead. Torres will come in and try the extra point, but an outstanding drive by Donovan Catholic. All of it on the ground except for the one big pass. Clark to Wilkins.
Torres on for the extra point. And this kick is up. And goes right down the middle. It is good. We'll keep it right here. Griffins taking a 14-7 lead, scoring on their opening 2 possessions with 35 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. An impressive opening quarter so far for the Griffins.
Yeah, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, and as Ed said, really an outstanding job by the offensive line. They've run it up the middle, they've run it to the outside, and Point Boro has had no answers to this point. Shane O'Connor is the defensive coordinator for the Panthers, matching wits with Chip LaBarca Jr., who calls the offense for Donovan Catholic. And as Ed said, they're going to have to make some adjustments because 2 drives right down the field and really with no answers. So long way to go as Donovan Catholic will kick off, and Point Boro will get their hands on the ball for the second time tonight. Of course, their first possession, they went right down the field and scored with the help of a couple of offsides penalties.
Two Panthers sit back at their 5. Komanitsky and Oren.
Anthony Jaden, a kickoff for the Griffins.
Jaden's kick gets to about the 15. And bringing it up to about the 27-yard line for the Panthers is Oren. They'll take over. 31 seconds left to go in the first quarter, down 14-7.
Dominic Nacero with the special teams tackle. So the Panthers will come back on offense for the second time tonight. Of course, the big touchdown run, 51 yards by Garrett Romer, capping their first scoring drive and their first possession.
Senior Panther playing both ways tonight, also playing free safety on defense for the Panthers. 2 receivers split right. Romer getting a read on the defense. Under center. Communicating with the sideline. And gets set under center. Sends a man in motion. And gives this one up the middle, maybe a gain of a yard on the play by Cooper Ellis, one of the men on the stop.
That will likely be the final play of this opening quarter.
Yeah, Romer using all 35 seconds that he has on offense to call that play.
And they look content to close out the first quarter, down 14-7. We'll take a quick timeout here. Griffins leading 14-7. You're listening to the Jersey Mike's Game of the Week on 92.7 WOBM.
The sub above difference is daily, not shredded last night or baked yesterday afternoon. Good ingredient. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. The sub above difference is the silver lining. Order Jersey Mike's for your game day party and rest assured that even if your team doesn't win, your mouth does. Victory is all yours. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
For complete high school football coverage, visit shoresportsnetwork.com.
Jersey Mike's Ocean County Football, 92.7 WOBM.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Bum Rogers Crab House in South Seaside Park, serving the shore's best seafood for over 40 years. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Visit bumrogerstavern.com.
Panthers with the ball, driving here to open up the second quarter, down 14-7. Romer sets up the Panthers offense, ball on their own 26. Two receiver split right for the Panthers. Romer under center, sends a man in motion. Pitches to the outside, and getting a gain of a yard, if that, was Kyle Komanitsky, and he was brought down by Jadir Loftlin.
That's an excellent open field tackle by Loftlin, as that time Romer kept it, and at the last minute pitched it to Komanitsky, but Loftlin, closing from his outside linebacker spot, did not let him get outside and brought him down.
Yeah, that's the third option on that flex bone offense philosophy of the Panthers. Dive back, quarterback, pitch man.
3rd down and 7 for Point Boro. Oren goes in motion. Now moves back off the tackle. Two receivers split left. Oren back in motion. And getting the pitch to the left side. Gets to the 30. Brought back. Gain of a yard or two on the play by Oren. That'll bring up a 4th down for the Panthers. And they'll send out the punting team.
Good stop by the Donovan Catholic defense that time.
Jared Helstowski came up from his safety spot to break up that play.
Komanitsky stays on the field to punt. Evan Menta back to receive for the Griffins, standing around his own 35. With 10.5 left to go in the second quarter. Komanitsky's punt meets Menta, the 36, fumbles the ball, drops it.
Was able to pick it right up, got a break, that nice bounce off the turf. And was able to recover his own fumble. And the Griffins will come out on offense for the 3rd time tonight. By the way, Ed gave us a score, probably one of the better games of the weekend, Brick Memorial and Long Branch, and it's Brick Memorial with a 7-6 lead. Long Branch missing an extra point there.
Donovan Catholic back on offense under the direction of Ryan Clark. He's been there since his freshman year, 3 years ago, the starting quarterback, and he's gotten progressively better each year. Only a junior, as Vin said.
Clark alone in the backfield in the shotgun. On a pass in the flat at the 35, and getting up to the 40-yard line for the Griffins with a gain of about 3 on the play was Bivens.
Romer, the quarterback, made the stop from his safety spot on defense.
By the way, Romer is a late insertion into the starting lineup, right, Kev?
On defense, yes.
On defense, right. He had some surgery in the offseason, hasn't played a whole lot of defense this year. Back in there tonight for this big game.
2nd down and 7 for the Griffins. 9:43 left to go in the first half. They lead 14-7, scoring on their first 2 possessions of the game, both Ryan Clark touchdowns. And fake to Bivens. Clark's going to keep this one up the middle. Gets a couple more on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd and about 5 for Donovan Catholic.
McCloskey first in to trip him up and set up this 3rd down and 5. We will mention that one of the Griffins' top players, Andre Laney, the wide receiver and cornerback, is no longer a member of the team, so other guys have had to pick up the slack, and Bivens and Yasin Moore from that wide receiver spot certainly have.
And Calhoun out tonight with an ankle injury, so that leaves the Griffins another spot to fill. Bivens goes in motion. And getting the carry up the middle is Loftlin. Loftlin passes midfield, gets to the 45, a flag thrown after he's brought down from the secondary.
Well, that was a late flag.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a face mask,
I would think, Ed, yeah.
By the way, that's the first time they came back with the counter.
Yep.
Everybody going right. Loftlin coming back to the left. Picked up about 15, and we're going to tack on only 5.
You know, those Bivens runs from that spot set that play up, as he was the guy that came in motion again, as you said, and he went right and so did everyone else, and then Laughlin comes back to the left. Nice play.
Bivens goes in motion again. Clark's going to throw this one, tipped in the air, nearly intercepted. Looking for more there, as Romer nearly came up with the interception.
Well, that was a little dangerous, Vin. A lot of traffic in the middle of the field, and he was fortunate that it was not intercepted.
Second down and 10 for the Griffins. Clark in the play from the sideline.
We are at Donovan Catholic High School, the Jersey Mike's Game of the Week on the Shore Sports Network. Kevin Williams, Vin Ebenu, Ed Sarluca, Greg Lerner, Tom Tremblay, Vin, Scott. Scott
has Dovic.
There you go.
Thank you, Scott. Carry up the middle. Ball goes to the 35-yard line. And getting the carry was Laughlin. It's a gain of about 6. Bring up a third down.
Boy, excellent offensive push on the left side of the offensive line. Got some big dudes over there.
Well, you're not kidding. He did not start, but Cameron McNair is now in at left tackle, 6'5", 315-pound sophomore.
Well, you know why? He was still at the buffet table. That's why he didn't start.
I'm going to tell him you said that.
Boy, he's a big dude, but they ran right over him as Boro will use a timeout here, Ben, but they ran right over him that time, and he had some big offensive push.
We'll keep it right here. He actually had a little bit of a groin injury, so he did not start, but loosened him up, and he's now in there. And you are right. The offensive line is just doing a superb job, anchored by senior center Nick Kenmure, Brogna, and, as we said, Aloro, Buxton, and now McNair, along with plenty of help from the tight end.
You know, what I didn't say, Vin, is that Kevin and I were with him at the buffet table. So believe me, we can put it away also.
Nothing wrong with a little buffet.
You're setting us up here, Ed.
Where was my invite, Ed?
Vin, come on, you weigh $150.
That's why I need to go to the buffet.
Now you're hitting the weight room big time. I see those pictures.
That part is true. Third down and 4 for Donovan Catholic. 7:56 left to go in the first half. Griffins leading 14-7. As Wilkins comes back onto the field.
Late arrival on the field.
One of those freshman mistakes right there.
Bivens goes in motion with a fake. Clark's going to keep this one himself. Rushes up the middle, gets to the 31 before he's dragged back by Nick Tozzolino. And it's close to a first down, maybe short.
4 down territory, though. They gave it to him.
Yeah, the Panthers have just not shown the ability to stop this ground game at all.
Big holes being opened up on the offensive line, especially by Nick Kenmure, the center. Nice little gap on the right side. Clark gets to play here on a 1st and 10.
7:15 left in the second quarter. 14-7 Donovan Catholic and driving.
Bivens and more receivers to the right and getting the carry up the middle. And now moving to the left is Laughlin. Tripped up just outside the 20 with a close to another Griffins first down, brought down by Nugent. And some fighting on the field afterwards. The officials and the coaches on the field trying to break it up just outside the 30. A group of Panthers and Griffins.
Well, this is not pretty.
Woo.
This is not pretty. And they'll sort this one out.
A couple Panthers being restrained afterwards as the teams separate on the field.
One of the Boro players has his helmet off.
24.
I don't know if it was taken off during that. That's Paul Franciscini, the middle linebacker.
Officials circling midfield discussing any action that may be taken next.
Well, we've got referees huddling now.
You know, what's always unfortunate in these situations, Ed, is a lot of times they don't see where it started.
You got that right.
You know, and that's usually the hard thing, and that's why so many times coaches will tell players, do not retaliate because you're the one that will get caught.
Yeah, usually there's going to be some players thrown out because the referee is writing numbers and names down.
Well, let's see.
That's
I don't want to speculate in any way.
No, I'm not going to say. I'm just saying.
I did see somebody I thought who was involved in it based on the way they tried to get him out of there, but
what usually happens is that the other referees will try to break up the fight, and the head referee will sit back and just observe and make the decisions.
Yep.
Dan Curcione walking away not happy.
Well, I think he's going to huddle up with his team
Yes,
right
he
now.
is.
So,
As are the Panthers on their side of the lane. Brian Staub calling his defense
well, that's
over.
a good idea. Let's get both teams on the sidelines. Let the coaches talk to them. Ed, maybe you can get some clarification. We'll try and find out if anyone has been ejected. We have not seen any indication. There were no flags thrown. This was clearly after the play, closer to the Donovan Catholic sideline.
Nick Kenmure tossing his helmet off on the sidelines.
Well, that's not a good sign.
As both teams continue to talk it over.
Vin, I got the ejection. 66 Donovan Catholic.
That is Nick Kenmure.
And 24 Point Pleasant.
Paul
Boro.
Franciscini, who lost his helmet.
Two ejections.
All right, now both those players are ejected. Ed, help me with the rule on how it impacts them next week. Don't you?
It'll be offsetting penalties, but 2 ejections.
But Ed, help me on the rule for what happens to them next week.
They must sit next week.
That's right, and that for sure for Donovan Catholic will be the opening round of the playoffs. It might be for Point Boro. That is a huge loss for the Griffins because Kenmure, who we just talked about, a senior co-captain, two-way starter, center and defensive line, and that will really hurt the Griffins, not just the rest of tonight, but next week as well. Franciscini, the starting middle linebacker, and again, Point Boro does need to win tonight to keep their playoff hopes alive.
After the dust is settled, it's a 2nd and 10 for the Griffins. Clark loses the ball. The snap, and this one looks like it's recovered by the Panthers at the 34-yard line. Bobby Cooper on the recovery.
Well, there you go. So you have that happen, you know, you sit out for a couple of minutes.
Sure.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with the center, by the way.
Nope.
It went right through the hands of Ryan Clark.
Yeah, we've got to pick up who the new center is for the Griffins, but that was a good snap. At least it appeared to be from up here. Looks like number 70, Vin, for Donovan Catholic because he's warming up on the sidelines.
That's Thomas Buxton.
So he's actually, Buxton is.
Christian Gillich.
All right, Christian Gillich, who was the starting left tackle tonight. Here we go, Point Boro football.
Ball carried up the middle, gain of about 3 on the play on the give. Panthers driving now. So Bobby Cooper.
So Gillich, who started the game at left tackle, looks like he has now moved to center. But right now it's Point Boro football with 6:20 left in the opening half.
No, you called it, Kev. They're sitting around for 3 or 4 minutes there while they, broke up the fight and handled all the penalties, and the momentum, which was clearly on Donovan Catholic, went to Point Pleasant Boro very quickly.
Panthers send a man in motion. Romer with a fake. He's going to run this one. Loses a couple on the play as he tries carrying it to the left.
Good defensive play.
Brought down by Ellis.
By the way, I also want to say there are actually 2 centers working on the sideline during that break. The other is Elio Siragusa, and he was snapping to Ryan Clark while Gillich was snapping to someone else. So it might be a case of one is on special teams and the other is on offense. We'll see when they take the next possession.
3rd down and 7, 5.5 left to go in the opening half. Romer reading the Griffins defense. Gets under center, sends a man in motion, and he's going to keep this one. Pitch, loses the ball as it bounces off of Komanitsky. Romer able to recover just outside the 30, but that's a loss of about 7 or 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 4th and long. Just as the Panthers picked up momentum, they lose it.
Well, great surge by the defensive line of Donovan Catholic, and Romer really had no option, but by the time he pitched it behind Komanitsky, and they were lucky to recover it.
By the way, Kevin, the Saraguso that you mentioned, the nephew of Tony Saraguso, of course, the All-Pro
I was curious about that. Komanitsky on the punt. Mensah back just outside his own 40 for this one. Runs back, poison call made on the field. Mensah's going to walk away from this one as the Panthers corral around it just outside the Griffins' 40, where they'll retake over. 4:29 left to go in the quarter.
And it is Siragusa, by the way, who will jog onto the field. at that center spot. So the first punt of the night as Point Boro kicks it away, and Donovan will take over at their own 39-yard line.
Well, both teams sort of off kilter after that little skirmish on the field.
I guess not totally surprising. By the way, we'll try and update you with some scores. St. John Vianney with a 14-0 lead on Central in the second quarter.
Clark in the shotgun for Donovan Catholic. Steps back, looking to throw, fires one down the left side of the field for Bivens, makes the catch and runs out of bounds just outside the 36.
Boy, was that a well-thrown football.
Great touch.
Not a lot of room there, Ed. I mean, he's just about ready to run out of bounds, and he hits him and right there on the sideline. Pretty good coverage by Romer.
Yeah, full stride he hit him.
Yep, that was a well-thrown football by Ryan Clark.
Nice call, too, on first. By the way, just got confirmation from the officials. Those players that were thrown out will be written up and will have to sit next week. That's official.
And another lost snap. Clark running after it, able to recover it at midfield. Now he's running left. Scrambling around trying to get it, and he is brought down at his own 44-yard line. A huge loss as the ball went over the head of Ryan Clark.
Tackle made by Izzy Wilson.
Well, you know, when you talk about offensive personnel, the guy you can't afford to lose is usually the quarterback. The second most important guy is probably the offensive center because of reasons that we've seen in the last couple of minutes on both teams.
By the way, Ed, halftime score, Rumson and Middletown South tied at 7. Red Bank Catholic with a 17-7 lead on Middletown North.
On a 2nd and 29 for the Griffins, Clark in a lot of trouble under pressure, tosses this one off and getting to the 40. And getting outside, pushed out of bounds just outside the 30 is Capone.
Laundry on the field, Vin. That's going to be coming back.
Boy, it was a well set up play, a delay screen to the tight end. Clark rolled right, the tight end was on the left, but as you said, it's coming back. I would imagine a hold.
Clark under a lot of pressure in the past couple plays and already on his 2nd and 29. Another penalty on the Griffins here that'll push him back even further.
By the way, 4 Toms River teams are all home tonight. Did you know that? East, North, South, and of course Donovan Catholic. South and Barnegat are scoreless in the second quarter in their game.
Wow.
That was later, right, Greg?
Some of those reasons were because of tomorrow's potential rain. The games are moved up. By the way, Long Branch has scored twice more and have a 20-7 lead over Brick Memorial still in the first half.
2nd and 32. Clark looking to throw. Fires this one across the middle. Intercepted!
Izzy Wilson.
Looked like he may have trapped it, but he did get the interception, and the Panthers retake control. And momentum shifting again. Big penalty there after the huge sack, fumble recovery. Clark did get that fumble back, but that second down play really hurt the Griffins on that last drive. 3 minutes, 2 seconds left in the first half. Griffins leading 14-7. They scored on their first 2 possessions, as did the Panthers, and it's been scoreless since.
Another score here. Manchester leading Jackson Liberty 12-0.
Rummers sets up the offense. Sends Oren in motion to the left. He gets the pitch to the left. Gets to the 30, up to the 35. Pushes more for a couple more. Gets to about the 37-yard line.
Late flag, Vin. It's a hold. Face mask, on Donovan Catholic. Face mask.
And the laundry starting to pile up here in this first half.
Yeah, whenever you have a fight, I mean, I've coached in many games, but whenever you have a little skirmish on the field, the referees have a tendency to try and control it. And that's why you see a lot of flags now on any possible infraction.
And that'll give Point Boro a first down with 2:50 left to go in the first half.
By the way, that was only a 5-yard face mask, incidental face mask. In high school, you could get a 5 or a personal foul, 15.
Romer calling plays at the line. Got a receiver split to each side. Sends a couple men in motion. Couple flags instantly as soon as the ball snapped as Romer was brought back for a loss.
2 men in motion at the same time. They can't get away with that.
Only in Canada. I'll tell you, the momentum in this football game with that after that fight, I mean, you can't say it enough.
Yeah, the whole game has slowed down.
The whole game has been out of sync since then. By the way, they will refuse the penalty, Vin, because it was a loss of about 3 or 4 yards, so it'll make it 2nd and 14.
Our Bob Batters from the Shore Sports Network is at the Homedale Raritan game, and the Hornets of Homedale, who beat Donovan Catholic a couple of weeks ago here to win the National Division, well, they lead Raritan 17-0. What an outstanding season for Coach Jeff Reynes and the Hornets.
2 receivers split right for the Panthers on a 2nd and long. Romer under center. Sends a man in motion. Fakes. Keeps it for himself. Gets to about the 40, gain of a couple on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd and about 12 for the Panthers, brought down by Green.
By the way, Brick Memorial has come right back and scored on the wave, the green wave of Long Branch. They trail 20-14 with about 3:30 left till half there.
Entertaining game, yep.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 11 for Point Boro with a minute and a half left to go in the first half. Panthers trailing 14-7.
By the way, Vin, if you're wondering why Point Boro's not passing here, it's because they don't. 14 times Romer has thrown all season, and we're in the 8th game.
Romer reading the defense, calling signals at the line. Receiver split to each side. And now he's looking to pass here. And caught by Visco. He hands it off to Komanitsky.
I think that was the hook and ladder, right?
Yeah, hook and lateral. That was not exactly well set up, as they were about 6 inches away from each other.
You know, they've run it twice successfully this year for touchdowns.
Yeah, it did
last week against Barnegat.
Yeah, it did 82-yarder, I think. I think it was Visco who caught it.
A similar play, Visco caught it, tossed it to Komanitsky like a hot potato, and Komanitsky took off.
There you go.
Didn't work quite as well on
I'm not so sure that handoff wasn't forward either just now.
So we've got a timeout here on the field with a little time left here in the second quarter. I'm the guy on the right. That's Vin over there on the left. And
hello, everyone.
We are bringing you tonight's game from Donovan Catholic. Ed, who called the timeout? Did you? Because it's 4th down. Did the Griffins call the timeout to get the ball back?
They want the ball back. By the way, we didn't set the night here. It's an absolutely beautiful night to play football. No wind at all. Crispy, probably in the upper 40s. And, of course, as you mentioned, Kevin, a beautiful new turf football field that just looks outstanding.
Komanitsky on to punt. Menta back just outside is 22. High snap. Komanitsky sends this one down. Poison call made as the ball bounces out of bounds just outside the 20. Griffins taking over with 43 seconds left to go in the first half.
By the way, for those that don't know, Vin, poison doesn't mean that there's some poison on the field. It's the normal call a team receiving a punt will make, and that means just get away from the ball. Just get away.
Like poison.
There you go. All right. So the Griffins will have it at their 21-yard line with 43 seconds left. Assuming that they did call the timeout, you would think they plan on doing something on offense here as opposed to just taking a knee and heading into the locker room with the 14-7 lead.
Yeah, that punt might have taken them out of any ideas they had here offensively.
Clark in the shotgun sends a man in motion. Gives this one up the middle to Lofton. Lofton gets to the 30, up to the 33-yard line. Ball comes out after the play was dead. And could be enough for another first down, and it is. Green on the play there.
No huddle, quick offense by Donovan Catholic.
With 35 seconds left to go, Clark rolls back, looking to throw. Fires one down the right side of the field. And making the catch just outside the 46-yard line was Yasin Moore. And that's another first down.
They do have 2 timeouts left, the Griffs.
And they'll stop the clock while they set the chains. Yep.
26 seconds and a spike.
Okay. So 21 seconds. Still got time for a couple of plays. They are at the 40 ball, and nose of the ball just about touching the 46-yard line of Point Boro.
Pretty good foot on the kicker as he zoomed 2 extra points through the upright. So probably got to get to at least the 25-yard line to have a chance.
Keon Torres has 2 field goals. The longest one is 32 yards.
And that was against Asbury Park. Clark rolls left, looking to throw again. Fires one down the left side of the field for Moore. Just out of his reach. He tried extending his right hand and went out of bounds. 15 seconds left to go in the half.
Double coverage by Cooper and Romer.
Took out the tuba player, the trombone player, and a drummer on that overthrow right there.
Creates extra music, Ed, before the half.
The band, you know, the bleachers here are not exactly very large, so the band sits on the sideline here at Donovan Catholic.
And Clark rolls back to pass, fires one in the flat, and getting to the 45 is Laughlin, and he moves up to the 39-yard line before he's brought down. 5 seconds left to go. 3, 2, and that'll bring a close to the first half.
They're going to end it.
A little surprised by that.
Yeah, I thought they might have had one more shot.
I guess not. No.
Try to get a few words out of Coach Curcione. Coach, pretty good first quarter for the Griffs. Marched it right down their throats twice.
We won the battle up front on those 2 drives and executed. We're a little bit of lack of execution the rest of the way, though.
Did you think that the fight, the little skirmish out there, took all the momentum out of this football game? Because until then, both teams looked pretty sharp.
Yeah, and I absolutely did. I think you just said it right there. Absolutely.
And, you know, I made a comment about, you know, the most important kid not to lose is your quarterback, but the second one might be your center. You did.
You know, you saw it with a couple of snaps there, but I have faith in Elio, and he's going to get it right here. He's a good player.
Thanks, Coach.
Dan Curcione, the head coach of Donovan Catholic, will join his team at the locker room at halftime. It is 14-7 Donovan Catholic, and as I think really kind of the whole game was summed up, a very crisp first quarter by both teams offensively, and then that skirmish just seemed to turn the faucet off, Vin. Like both teams just sort of lost it.
Lost their focus.
Lost their focus maybe a little bit, some bad feelings, and then instead of concentrating on the things they should do, thinking about other things, but now they get to regroup at halftime. I'm sure the coaches will try and settle both teams down and get things rolling in the second half.
A lot of things to discuss at the half for Staub and Curcione, not just with the fight, of course, but to get the offense going for both teams. Point Boro scored on that first one with Romer, but their offense has essentially been shut down either by themselves or by Donovan Catholic.
Yeah.
Right after you said, like with that fight, and a lot of penalties in the first half.
Yeah, not crisp. It just was not crisp. But it is halftime. Donovan Catholic leading 14-7. We'll take a 3-minute timeout, and we'll come back. We'll go down to the field, and Ed Sarluka will have a halftime conversation. We'll do that right after this. You're listening to the Jersey Mike's Game of the Week on 92.7 WOBM and ShoreSportsNetwork.com.
Jersey Mike's Ocean County Football on the Shore Sports Network.
92.7 WOBM FM, Toms River.
A Town Square media station.
Ready to take the next step in your career? Trying to figure out what's next after high school or community college? Georgian Court University is ready to help. Sign up now for a campus visit or info session at georgian.edu/visit. Learn about the college experience. Discover what a degree from GCU can do for you. Whether you are just out of high school or if you're an adult learner looking to transfer, GCU is the place to expand possibility. Take that first step. Make GCU your place. Register now for a campus visit or info session at georgian.edu/visit.
Hey, Chrissy, where can I score my best deal on a new set of wheels?
Searching.
Sansone Jr.'s 66 Auto Mall. During the fall sales blitz, they're hitting the competition hard, knocking down prices, payments, and financing rates on a huge lineup of new Nissans and Kias.
What if my credit's out of shape?
Don't sweat it. When the blitz is on, their only job is to say yes with credit approval in 15 minutes or less. Sansone Jr.'s 66 Auto Mall, where we work hard to make car buying easy.
Welcome to Boro! Okay, hi, what are we doing today?
I need something that screams something fun. Nothing too on the face, nothing too off the face, but also totally hot.
So I have the perfect thing. It's the most food mullet. You're totally business in the front, but tailgate in the back. It's a fat party. People are having fun. You know, snap. All your friends are going to be like, whoa, awesome setup. Everyone else is going to be all jelly, okay?
Just like a killer mullet, Moe's Catering will turn the back of your ride into a tailgate party that's sure to turn some heads. Just order ahead and pick it up on your way.
Visit Moe's in Toms River, located in the Kohl's Shopping Center.
It's the Jersey Shore's best time of the year at Seabreeze Ford's local summer sales event. The crowds are gone, but the no money down deals are still here on Ford's hottest models, like the stylish 2018 Ford Explorer, America's best full-size pickup, the Ford F-150, and the best-in-class Ford Escape SUV. Plus, Seabreeze Ford has over 100 certified pre-owned cars on hand for the Shore's best selection. Locals rule at Seabreeze Ford, Route 35 in Wall Township, or SeabreezeFord.com. Seabreeze Ford's local summer sales event is underway. The word is out, and so is the awesome brunch spread at the Melting Pot every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Melting Pot. It's not your ordinary brunch. Check this out. Delicious Alpine Benedict fondue, French toast fondue, buttermilk chicken and waffles, mouth-watering sandwiches, burrata melon salad, and if you're 21 or older, enjoy a complimentary mimosa. Yes, it's brunch and it's on. The Melting Pot, now open every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Located in the Galleria, 2 Bridge Avenue, Red Bank. Book your experience today.
36-month lease with approved credit through TFS Corolla 5189 or RAV44988 to assigning $0 security deposit. Excludes tax tag title 439 doc fee 10K miles per year. Ends 10/31/2018.
Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
Sign and Drive is going on now at Gateway Toyota. New 2019 Corolla LE CVT or 2018 RAV4 LE. Your choice. Drive only $99 a month.
Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
TomsRiverGatewayToyota.com.
Now back to Jersey Mike's Ocean County football
On 92.7 WOBM and ShoreSportsNetwork.com.
We are at halftime here at Donovan Catholic with the Griffins leading Point Boro 14-7. The Point Boro band is about to entertain the fans here, and that's a good time for us to head down to the field. And Ed Sarluca has a special guest and a longtime friend of ours.
Yes, he is a longtime friend, and of course he used to work for the Asbury Park Press and do an outstanding job. That is Joe Zadalis, who's now with NJ.com. Joe, welcome.
Hey, Lutz, it's been a long time. How are you?
Yes, it is. It has been a long time, and I read you every week online, a lot of internet stuff. I know you had a great article this week, or today actually, on the playoffs, which neither of us quite fully understand, as usual, right?
Well, absolutely. You know, before the game, you made the point that, you know, two of the people who would know what was going on are you and me, and now we have no clue. But, you know, I think there are 99.9% of football fans in New Jersey who can't figure out the Bourne system, and that's one of the things we had today, the way some teams have really benefited and some teams have really suffered because of the Bourne system.
You know, the whole objective of this new system, you know, at least how they sold it to the coaches and to the administrators, was that the best teams will get into the playoffs. Is that going to happen? We won't know that till Sunday afternoon, Monday morning, but who knows? Is a 1-7 or an 0-8 team the best team?
Well, to me, no, but, you know, it's listen, you and me have been around long enough to know there is no perfect system, but I do not understand how a team that has 0 wins can be in the playoffs. Something just wrong with that. I don't care who you played or how close the games were, you didn't win. And, you know, one of the things I was having a discussion with somebody today, it almost seems like the desire to win, the need to win has been legislated out of the football playoffs. Now it's better to lose close, and, you know, I don't know, I'm old school. That bothers me.
Right, and it's also better to play up, to play a better opponent, and also to play a Catholic, non-public opponent, because you automatically pick up 28 and in some cases 35 points, win or lose.
Well, yeah, that's an oddity about the system, and that's what I said too, Ed, is it now, what do you do if you're the West Jersey Football League or you're the Shore Conference, where you are trying to create divisions for competitiveness based on previous record? Now what do? Do you make divisions now based on PowerPoints? I don't think so, because as we all know, participation numbers are falling through the floor, and kids want to be in games where they're competitive. I don't know where you draw the line here.
Yeah, that was the argument in the Shore Conference. That speaks specifically with the Shore. You deal a lot in the Shore and know it so well as I do. But, the realignment and to try and match up opponents, going by the past 3 years, the records of the past 3 years. Does that work? I don't know if it does. We won't really know that until maybe next year when they realign it again.
Well, the West Jersey Football League has been doing that for 3 or 4 years, and it has really made a difference there. But, their goal was to at least give teams 4, 5 games that were competitive, that you had a chance to win. But now those teams are suffering by playing those games.
Yeah, by losing those games, exactly. Well, let's talk specifically about this game right here. We had a pretty good football game for a quarter. Then we had a little skirmish out there in which a couple players were ejected, and the game took a complete 180.
Well, you had said it, and I thought you hit the nail on the head. When you have a skirmish like that, and when there are ejections, the referees automatically become flag happy, and rightly so. They want to get control of the game, and Donovan really lost its marbles there for a few minutes, and and now probably those 2 kids are going to sit a game next week. So, not only does it hurt you in this one, it hurts you in another one. So, I also agree with you. The speed of Mondon is very impressive. It's my first time seeing them. Speed on the edge, speed in the backfield. The quarterback is a moose. Clark is a really good football player.
And maybe their quickest kid, Calhoun, is sitting out tonight with the ankle injury, so you throw him into the mix. They've got some talent in the backfield.
And as you pointed out to me, what do they have, 3 seniors, 15 freshmen playing? I mean, you want to talk about a bright future, I'd say Mondon has one.
They put by playing those freshmen and the sophomores, and even Clark, who's been playing since his freshman year, he's played every game at quarterback for the Griffs in the last 3 years. You put a lot of pressure on yourself, because next year, you got to produce.
Well, yeah, and we've seen that, all in other places where you can see a team coming, and, in Donovan Catholic's case, you need to keep the quality kids coming in, because even though they have these numbers, the depth is still marginal. And but I think they're going to be good.
Yeah, marginal when you're talking about competing with modern day and RBC.
Exactly. There's a drop-off from, their first team to their second team, and, and that's become the norm everywhere, Ed. And you're right. Modern day, we think is really a contender. DePaul's going to be the favorite there. They got the quarterback going to Penn State, but, DePaul's wide receiver, Ronnie Hickman, the kid going to Ohio State, out for the year. So, that takes a big chunk out of their offense.
It sure does, but as you mentioned, quarterback going to Penn State, sometimes that's enough to carry you. But anyway, let's talk about some of the other teams, up in Central Jersey, that you specifically covered. I know you were very high on Allentown the last few years, not as high this year.
Well, they got beat again today. They lost to Nottingham. They have a really sensational sophomore quarterback named Dan Merkel, and he's a really good athlete. He's a good runner, a good thrower, but Allentown doesn't have the line to compete, and I saw them get pummeled by a really good Burlington Township team, so I don't think they're going to be a factor, Ed.
Yeah, I mentioned them because they will play in the South Jersey Group 4 playoffs, or I should say Central. Now, right now it's South 4, but of course it'll be broken down into South and Central.
Right, I call it South Central, but yeah, they'll be in, and in that section, to me, Long Branch is just head and shoulders above everybody else. I think it's not only Long Branch's title to win again, it's their title to lose. And they're having a heck of a game tonight. What you tell me the score was?
I believe it's 27-14 against Brick. They're up on Brick Memorial at halftime in what looks like a shootout up there. Of course, the Memorial offense, always tough to stop. They run their flex bone so well. Of course, Brian Staub, a disciple of the Brick Memorial flex bone offense. And, of course, Danny Curcione. How about the fact that both coaches here tonight, both head coaches, playing for the Mustangs of Brick Memorial in the past?
Yeah, that Curcione kid played for that old defensive coordinator.
Old is the key word.
Key word. That old defensive coordinator, Sarluca. But, Danny's done a great job here. He did a great job at Wall. And you can just see his interaction with the kids, that they respect him and like him a whole bunch.
Yeah, they're so intense, and he was always an intense player, Danny Curcione, and he's brought that to Donovan in his coaching philosophy. And, to gain the respect and to get these players, the influx of players that they're getting, hey, let's face it, they're a non-public school. If they go to Toms River East or Toms River South or Wall or wherever or Southern, they could come to Donovan Catholic and play right away.
Well, of course, and kids want to go to a place where they're going to be a part of a winner. And, traditionalists like you and myself, we don't like that, Let's face it, kids don't grow up wanting to play for Brick or Toms River South or Jackson Memorial anymore. They want to go to places where they're going to win, where they're going to get exposure, and where they're going to get well coached. And whether we like it or not, that's what's going on. Look at Berkeley Catholic. Look at St. Joe's. Look at Don Bosco. Look at Mater Dei. It's a business now, Ed. When you're talking, the $250,000 I'm in debt for my daughter going to Penn State. It's the way it is, and it's the new high school football.
Yeah, you talk about that Penn State. Kevin has thrown out a few shekels to have both of his kids go to Penn State. He'll be working until he's about 95. Everybody keeps asking Kevin, when are you going to retire? He says, no, I got 2 kids that graduated from Penn State. I'm not retiring for a long time. But anyway, in this game, as we said, it's almost exactly even statistically, right?
It is. I have it 86 yards rushing for Donovan. Now remember, they have more than that. All that yardage came off those 2 bad snaps, which were killers, or they would be well over 100 now. And I have Point Boro for 88 yards rushing.
And 51 came on that one touchdown run by Rome.
Touchdown run. I really think Donovan has done a good job up front of controlling the line of scrimmage and, not being sucked in by that play fake. I mean, I saw Point Boro opening night. They had Manasquan beat with all that, that wing T type misdirection, and tried to throw the ball twice and it burned them. But I think it's going to be close the whole way. I didn't know what to make of Point Boro trying to shorten the game by letting the clock go. I always thought that was a high-paced, fast-paced offense, and it just seemed strange to me.
Yeah, they did. They definitely tried to short. Romer wouldn't snap it until the full 34, 35 seconds, waiting for the back judge to count it off, the last 4 seconds. But, hey, we should have a pretty good one here. We got a great crowd, by the way. It was senior night tonight. It's homecoming, They did homecoming prior to the game. That's a little bit different.
I've seen it a few times. Allentown does it every year, and it's nice because the kids in that part of the program can take, get their recognition, and they're not splitting it with football and vice versa.
Well, the band is blowing us out here. It's Point Pleasant Borough Marching Band who's putting on the halftime show here at the home of the Griffins and doing a tremendous job. By the way, about 100 members of the band. That's another participation that's going the other way. Band participation, not as many as they used to be in the old days of Toms River North and Toms River South when they used to have 200 people.
Now, I had heard that Brick is doing away with the marching band next year because there's like 21 kids. I've seen big schools. Burlington Township had, 24 kids, and it's just something that kids don't want to be a part of. It's a lot of work these days.
Well, Joe, I'll be looking forward to Sunday, Monday. Maybe we talk to each other during the week and we see what the key matchups are. But anyway, the only thing that Kevin and I like about this system, that we'll have a winner before Thanksgiving, a sectional winner, 3 weeks in a row.
Well, I don't want to see Thanksgiving Days done away with, and I think...
Oh, you're one of the few.
I'm one of the few. I love Wall Manasquan, so...
we'll be there.
I'll be there, too. So, yeah.
Joe Zadalis, thank you, from NJ.com. Kevin?
Joe does a great job. We've been friends with him for 30 years.
Exactly. I was going to say our own Bobby Batters knows a lot about football, as does, Steve Falk from the Esme Park Press, but nobody knows more than Joe Zadalis. Thanks, Joe.
Ed, thank you very much.
By the way, the reason they moved up the homecoming before the game was because of the weather forecast. They wanted to make sure they got it in, even if it started raining during the game. So it was scheduled for that reason.
Right. You want to update?
On what?
On the weather?
Yeah.
It's dark.
Yeah, thanks, Ed.
That's about it.
By the way, how about this, Ed? You were talking to Joe. Barnegat and Toms River South are in overtime right down the road. About
zeros?
No, 7-7.
Oh,
They each threw long touchdown passes. The Indians coming with 45 seconds left. Toms River North has opened up a 10-point lead on Southern, and Toms River East had a 13-3, 10-point lead over Colts Neck at halftime. So a lot going on around the shore, and as we alluded to, there are no games tomorrow. Everything scheduled for tomorrow was moved to today because of the impending nor'easter. It also resulted in teams that don't have lights playing early games this afternoon. For example, Manasquan beat Ocean 21-7, Shore over Keyport 41-7. Cheshire Academy, which we believe is from Connecticut, edged Modern Day Prep 34-33. Freehold Wallop Powell 42-7. Marlborough all over Matawan 47-14. Those were all early games, as we alluded to. And by the way, Manchester beat Jackson Liberty. That's a final 12-0. St. John Vianney was leading Central 21-0 the last time we checked. Wall, I believe, had a 7-0 lead on Neptune. Homedale was rolling past Raritan 24-0. Boy, that one really surprised me. I thought that'd be a real close game. So some of the scores from around the shore as we get set. What we'll do is we'll take a 60-second timeout right here, 60 seconds, and then Vin will rejoin us and we'll set the stage for the second half. It is Donovan Catholic leading Point Borough 14-7. You're listening to the Jersey Mike's Game of the Week on 92.7 WOBM and ShoreSportsNetwork.com.
Even though the fall weather is turning cool and crisp, the entertainment is hot at Bum Rogers Crab House in South Seaside Park. Today, don't miss Jay Soul from 5 till 8 and Halfway There at 9:30. Tomorrow at 9:30, enjoy Wonderful Winos with Vinny Lopez. And get into the Halloween spirit on Wednesday, October 31st for Bum's Key West Fantasy Fest Halloween Party. Key West rules will be in effect. Tutus optional. Bum Rogers in South Seaside Park. For a complete schedule of events, visit BumRogersTavern.com.
36-month lease with approved credit through TFS Corolla 5189 or RAV44988 due at signing. $0 security deposit. Excludes tax tag title 439 doc fee 10K miles per year. Ends 10/31/2018.
Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
Sign and Drive is going on now at Gateway Toyota. New 2019 Corolla LE CVT or 2018 RAV4 LE. Your choice. Drive only $99 a month.
Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
TomsRiverGatewayToyota.com.
For complete high school football coverage, visit ShoreSportsNetwork.com.
Jersey Mike's Ocean County Football, 92.7 WOBM.
Back to the second half where the Donovan Catholic Griffins lead Point Borough 14-7 as we get set for the kick to open up the second half. Point Borough to receive the kick to get things going here in the second half, down by a touchdown. Scoring on their opening possession, they're looking to tie this game up. Garrett Romer had the lone touchdown for the Panthers tonight. Kick goes to about the 10, caught on the fly and brought up the left sideline to about the 30 before being brought down on the return.
That was Christian Oren on the return.
By the way, Vin, you mentioned Romer having that long 51-yarder. If he's got 5 yards after that run, that's a lot. He has done nothing since.
Yeah, both offenses have been shut down pretty much for this part of the second quarter, especially after that brawl on the field.
Yep.
Romer gets under center, sets up the Panthers offense, sends Komaninski in motion. He's going to keep it himself, though. Rushes up the middle, gains a few on the play before he's brought down by Yasin Moore. And Chris Bowd.
Chris Aldrich.
Chris Aldrich.
There's a little adjustment there by Point Pleasant. If you notice that, Vin, after he faked to the ace back, he kept it inside rather than go outside the end. They've been doing a good job on the outside containing him. That time he kept it over to the offensive tackle.
On a 2nd down and 4, Romer's going to dive up the middle, gains a couple on the play before he's tapped just outside the 40-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd down and short.
Yeah, same thing there. Kept it tight rather than option the end.
No doubt for them to be successful and come back, Romer will be the key to this offense in this ground game. He has been all season long, came into tonight with 733 yards rushing, probably close to 800 right now, and has scored his 10th touchdown of the season tonight.
Komaninski goes motion to the right. He gets the pitch to the right, gets to the 40, up to the 41, brought down 41-42. Good enough for a Panthers 1st down. As Point Boro looks to keep the ball moving. Aldrich with the stop for Donovan Catholic. 10.5 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Griffins leading 14-7. They scored on their first 2 possessions of the game, both Ryan Clark touchdown runs. Scoreless since. Ball spotted on the Panthers 41. Romer under center. Sends a man in motion, gives up the middle, and being pushed back after a gain of maybe a couple was Cooper. Lofton, one of the members of the Griffins defense on the stop, as well as Brogna.
2nd and 11.
And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 11 for Point Boro. Romer sets up the offense here on a 2nd and 11, 9.5 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Man in motion, and it's Komaninski getting the carry along the right sideline, gets to the 45, pushed out of bounds just outside the 48-yard line, brought down by Cremier Green. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, this will be a key 3rd down, Ed.
Yeah, very key. They need about 7 long yards here. One of the things I like about Point Pleasant Boro, and I've liked all year, even though they are 2-5, is that they've come back in most of their games. They will not quit. Brian Staub has installed that no-quit attitude in them, even though the losses have been there. They've come back quite a few times, especially in the 4th quarter.
2 receivers left for Point Boro as Romer sets up the offense. Here on a 3rd and 6. He's going to keep it himself after the fake. Gets past midfield up to the Griffins 48-yard line.
I think he's got the 1st down. Yep, they're going to move the chains.
And suddenly Point Boro slowly moving things down the field, looking to tie this game up and take some momentum here in the 2nd half.
By the way, not too far from here, Toms River North has opened up a 31-14 lead on Southern. That's 17 straight points for the Mariners, who are headed to the playoffs. They look to be in South Jersey Group 5 and probably the number 6 seed, so they would be on the road next week.
1st down and 10 for Point Boro as we cross the 9-minute mark. Komaninski goes in motion to the right. He gets the pitch to the right, gets to the 45, up to the 43-yard line. Gain of about 4 or 5 on the play before he's brought down.
Well, so far I could see a lot of adjustments that the Panthers have made offensively. Of course, they've only had it offensively, but they are trying to keep the ball inside the tackles with Romer. That time, the first time we've seen the toss play to try and get outside. everything working fairly good right now. Not for the big play, but just nickel diming them, getting first downs.
Couple receivers split to the left, one to the right. Romer's setting up the offense here on a 2nd and 6. Komanitsky in motion to the right again. This one is a give up the middle, going off to the right side after a gain of a couple was Bobby Cooper. And he was brought down by Xavier Ellis.
Well, I tell you what, Ellis has made a host of tackles tonight. Number 8, the outside linebacker, junior.
3rd and 5.
And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 for the Panthers.
Just inside.
Ball spotted at about the 43. 2 receivers go split left for the Panthers. Romer getting the play call from the sidelines. Now gets under center. Sends a man in motion. A little fake. Komanitsky with a carry to the right side. Gets past the 40. Pushes for the first down. He may be a little bit short as he's pushed out of bounds around the 38-yard line. Brought down again by Xavier Ellis.
Well, Ed, I think this is clearly 4th down territory.
Well, it's going to be about a half a yard short. I don't know. They may.
Nah, they're going for it.
I know. I'm wondering if they should measure. I mean, that ball.
It's pretty darn close, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very close.
4th and inches.
Oh, that's a big one.
Receiver split to each side. Romer under center. And he's going to take this one himself. Busts up the middle. Looks like he's got enough for the first down.
Yep, easily.
Picks up the first down.
So a good opening drive so far to start the 3rd quarter here by the Panthers. They've killed nearly 6 minutes of the clock, and they're working their way downfield. As Ed said, no big plays, but grinding out 4 or 5 yards, and they've converted a couple of 3rd downs, and that time a 4th down.
And you could see who the object of attention was in the locker room. That would be number 9, Garrett Romer. He's kept it just about every play this possession.
Romer sends a man in motion. Rough moving through the line was the Griffins defense. Didn't gain much on there. In fact, he lost about three yards on the play.
Well, Cooper was met by McNair. Big
he
Cameron
blew it up.
McNair. Boy, did he blow that play up.
Yeah, McNair blew it up in the offensive backfield.
McNair's
Guessed right, shooting the gap.
McNair, the sophomore, 6'5", 300 pounds.
And, I mean, he just blew by the offensive lineman. And basically, as Cooper got the ball, McNair got him.
That'll bring up a 2nd and 12 for Point Boro. Receiver split to each side. Romer under center. Sends a man in motion. Now looking to pass. Fires one in the flat to Oren. Gains maybe 3 or 4 on the play up the Point Boro sideline. Bringing up a 3rd and long for the Panthers.
Boy, a really good open field tackle by Laughlin that time to get Oren right at the ankles. Looked like the play was well set up, right, Ed?
I totally agree. It was set up nice, and when Oren got it, he had some grass in front of him, but closed it up nice. Great job there. Hold it to a 4-yard gain.
Now under 5 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter at Point Boro. The only team to have possession of the football so far here in the second half. They trail 14-7. Ball on the Griffins 34 on a 3rd and long for Point Boro. Romer in a lot of trouble in the backfield as he escapes the pocket. Gains about 2 or 3 on the play, but that'll bring up a 4th down.
Looks like Ellis again. Also Green. And clearly, go ahead, Ed.
I was just going to say, I didn't like that call right
Neither
there.
did I.
3rd and about 8, maybe 7 yards. I'm running it twice there. That's your bread and butter. You mentioned it, Kev. What, 14 passes coming into this game?
Yeah,
that was it. And they've thrown it about 4 or 5 times this game,
Receiver split to each side for Point Boro on a 4th down and 6. Romer reading the defense, calling signals at the line, moving right to left across your radio, sends Komanitsky in motion to the right, and then a flag is thrown just as that's occurring.
The 4th time that Donovan Catholic has jumped offside.
It's got to be the cadence, right, Ed?
I would think so. They are taking the full 35 seconds, and all you got to do, those defensive linemen, is look to your left or look to your right and watch the football. You don't move until the football. It's almost like they should wear earplugs, and they can't hear the cadence.
Instead of 4th and 7, that'll bring up a 4th down and 2. Much more manageable situation here.
3.5 left to go in the third quarter. Boro sends a receiver to each side. Romer under center. Sends Komanitsky in motion to the right. And this is a carry up the middle.
He'll get the first down. Yep.
Picks up a first down.
Well, that's twice on this possession. They converted on 4th down. They've also converted twice on 3rd down. So as you guys mentioned, it's nickel dime time here. No big plays past 5 or 6 yards, but just enough, and using all 4 downs to get that first.
And Vin using up just about the entire third quarter.
Yep. I was just going to say, with the length of this drive, they got to score.
3 minutes left in the quarter. They've had it for 9.
On a 1st and 10, under 3 left to go. Romer going to carry this one, gains a couple on the play off to the Boro sideline, gets to about the 20-yard line. And that'll bring up a 2nd down for the Panthers.
Dominic Nacero with the tackle. Sophomore inside linebacker. This is some drive. Now, I don't think there's any doubt they have to come away with points here.
And they're wearing out the Griffins' defense at the same time.
They sure are.
2nd down and 8 for the Panthers. And this is a give to the left side, and loss of about 2 or 3 on the play. Swarming to the ball was Nacero on the tackle.
Well, you have said it, Vin and Kevin, that was the 17th play of this drive. Unbelievable. And now they're looking at a serious situation here, 3rd and 9.
They've eaten up 10 minutes plus and running off the clock here in the third quarter.
It's amazing. Now, on this situation last time, they threw the ball. Remember that.
On a 3rd down and 9. Man in motion. Romer looking to pass, fires one to the 10.
That's Komanitsky, and he's going to have the first down.
Yep, on the 11. Now, let's see. Now they're going to put it, on the 11-yard line, so they can get another first on the 1. It is not goal to goal.
So Romer completes the pass there. Komanitsky ran a simple route but was open, and a well-thrown football. And this Boro drive, this epic drive, continues.
Minute 10 left to go in the third quarter. Panthers on the Griffins 11. And getting the carry, not for much. Romer keeping the ball, gains a yard on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Under a minute left to go here in the third quarter.
Yep, that pass completion, Vin, the second one on this drive, and only the 3rd of the night that Romer has completed.
It looks like that Point Boro will have the football for the entire quarter. I can't remember the last time we've seen that.
30 seconds left to go in the third quarter. On a 2nd and 9. Komanitsky goes in motion, moves back off the left tackle. Romer back under center. And this is a give up the middle to Cooper.
Inside to Cooper.
Cooper gains 3 or 4 on the play, and that may end it.
That'll eat it
close
up.
Out the third quarter here.
The freshman Brogna makes the tackle, and that will be the end of the third quarter.
Point Boro had the ball for the entire third quarter. They're looking to score as we get set to open up the fourth. Down 14-7, heading to the fourth quarter. We're going to step out for a quick 30-second timeout. You're listening to the Jersey Mike's Game of the Week on 92.7 WOBM and watching it live at shoresportsnetwork.com.
Hey, Chrissy, where can I score my best deal on a new set of wheels?
Searching. Sansone Jr.'s 66 Auto Mall. During the fall sales blitz, they're hitting the competition hard, knocking down prices, payments, and financing rates on a huge lineup of new Nissans and Kias.
What if my credit's out of shape?
Don't sweat it. When the blitz is on, their only job is to say yes with credit approval in 15 minutes or less. Sansone Jr.'s 66 Auto Mall, where we work hard to make car buying easy.
Now back to Jersey Mike's Ocean County football
On 92.7 WOBM and ShoreSportsNetwork.com.
We start the fourth quarter of the Jersey Mike's Game of the Week. It is powered by Jersey Mike's. Order Jersey Mike's for your game day party. Even if your team doesn't win, your mouth will. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above, and Toyota World of Lakewood. Your Jersey Shore dealer is the exclusive auto sponsor of our Game of the Week. They are Toyota World of Lakewood on the border of Brick and Lakewood. Shop them 24/7 at lakewoodtoyota.com.
Ball spotted on the Griffins 5. Point Boro so far on a 12-minute possession, taking up the entire third quarter. Griffins have yet to snap a single play on offense. Fourth quarter opens up. Griffins leading 14-7. Scoring done back in the first quarter. Romer under center. Sends a man in motion. Gives up the middle to Cooper.
He's close.
No signal. Cooper looks like he's down just about the one.
But he might have picked up the first. I think he did. No, they moved it back. Oh, thought he got a bad mark there. So it is going to be fourth and about.
You're there.
The length of a football, Kev.
Okay. So the length of a football for a first down, a yard for a touchdown, right?
In fact, they're going to measure it.
Okay.
Just to let them know how much they do need.
All right.
So they can get a first down. If you look, I guess that's the soccer goal right there. I don't know what line. It's a yellow line. It's not the goal line.
This drive, a true test of strength for the Donovan Catholic defense, being on the field now for 12 minutes and 15 seconds here in the second half.
Yeah, a little bit longer than one football, maybe two footballs.
Okay. Now, twice when they've been in this situation, Romer has kept it.
It's been a 22-play drive. This will be play number 23.
Drive started to open up the second half.
This drive started in the locker room, I think.
Well played. Romer under center. Receiver split to each side. Man in motion. Romer's going to keep it. Denied of the end zone.
And did not get the first down. Wow.
Ed, I did not like the call. I believe Ellis Smith, exactly.
Yeah.
I looked at when Romer had the snap, he could have gone off the left side of the center. There was nobody in that gap at all. I thought he was just going to take it and basically just go to his left. There was no one in that gap.
The old Tom Brady quarterback sneak.
Yep, and I don't know why they ran that wide in that situation, but a good job. I believe Ellis was in on the play as the Donovan Catholic defense comes up with the big stop.
After a 12-and-a-half-minute drive, Point Boro comes up empty.
Now they've got the Boro defense has to come up big here.
Griffins starter on their own 3. Clark takes the snap in the end zone, hands off immediately to Lofton, who gets up to about the 7-yard line.
If it wasn't for the good hands of Ryan Clark there, that snap would have been through the goalpost. Very fast on the snap. Nothing wrong with it, but just very quick and high.
Couple snaps went over Clark's head in the first half, right after the center.
Center was thrown out.
Chris Bowd made the tackle there.
On a 2nd and 5 for Donovan Catholic. And getting the carry up the left side with enough for what appears to be a first down.
Oh, yeah, well.
Easy, yeah.
That took all the momentum away from Point Pleasant Borough, that drive, and get nothing out of it.
Jonathan Nugent finally made the stop, but boy, oh boy, you know, when you go on that kind of drive and you come up short, I think it sort of deflated the whole Panther team.
Both teams seesawing momentum since the brawl on the field. 14-7 Griffins, 10.5 left to go here. As Clark will take it up himself up the middle to the 30, to the 40. With a lot of green in front of him. In deep into Panthers territory, down to the 10. Touchdown, Donovan Catholic.
It's going to be about 85 yards. 83? 83-yard run by Ryan Clark. And that is his third touchdown of the night, right? He's got all three. Eighth of the season, and that was the backbreaker for Point Boro.
Yeah, I think you called it, Kev. They just got deflated when they didn't get in on the 1 yard line there. Tough to come back.
And a timeout on the field just ahead of the PAT.
We'll keep it right here and then take a break after the extra point. I think there's an injured player on the field.
0784.
Injured player,
yes, number
just
two.
Outside the
Number
end zone.
2.
Yep.
Cramps.
Please come to the press box. 336-0784.
That is Clark.
No.
No, 2 for Point
Yeah,
Boro?
Point Boro. I'm sorry.
That'd be
I'm sorry.
Izzy Wilson.
Izzy Wilson, yep.
Yeah.
He was trying to track him down.
Yep, exactly. And almost did.
Boy, I tell you what, though, Clark, for
Showed
a big
me some
guy,
wheels.
he did show you some speed, didn't he?
Yes.
That
Very
was impressive.
Clark, 6'1", 215-pound junior quarterback, scoring all 3 touchdowns tonight for Donovan Catholic.
That is the hat trick. By the way, Toms River North has beaten Southern 31-21. That's a final.
As the Griffins take a 2-touchdown advantage on an injury timeout here, 10:22 left to go in the fourth quarter. Griffins leading 20-7.
Final score, Pennington has beaten winless Point Beach 41-14. Trying to get a couple of other updates here.
Wilson going off the field under his own power. Definitely a positive sign for the Panthers team as the Griffins get back onto the field with Torres on to attempt the extra point.
Toms River East has beaten Colts Neck 20-3. That's a final score.
And the kick by Torres up high, and this one is good. We're going to take a quick break. 83-yard touchdown run by Ryan Clark, his third of the ball game as the Griffins take a 21-7 lead. 10:22 left to go in the fourth quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to the Jersey Mike's Game of the Week on 92.7 WOBM and watching it live at shoresportsnetwork.com.
Welcome to Boro! Okay, hi, what are we doing today?
I need something that screams something fun. Nothing too on the face, nothing too off the face, but also totally hot.
So I have the perfect thing. It's the most food mullet. You're totally business in the front, but tailgate in the back. It's a fat party. People are having fun. You know, snap. All your friends are going to be like, whoa, awesome setup. Everyone else is going to be all jelly, okay?
Just like a killer mullet, Moe's Catering will turn the back of your ride into a tailgate party that's sure to turn some heads. Just order ahead and pick it up on your way.
Visit Moe's in Toms River, located in the Cole Shopping Center.
For complete high school football coverage, visit shoresportsnetwork.com.
Jersey Mike's Ocean County Football, 92.7 WOBM.
Welcome back to the Jersey Mike's Game of the Week. Vin Abinu, Kevin Williams, Ed Sarluca with you as the Griffins lead 21-7, 10:22 left to go in the fourth. As the kick by Torres, kicking it back to the Panthers. This one skips to Komanitsky outside the 8-yard line. He's going to run to the left. Heads to the Panthers sideline, up the sideline to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, to the 40. Tripped up and pushed near the out-of-bounds marker at the 45. A nice return by Kyle Komanitsky. As the Panthers take over with 10:11 left to go in the game, down 21-7.
I think that was Laughlin who made the tackle, and I got news for you. If he didn't make it, I think he was gone. There was only one defensive player left, and there were 2 blockers. By the way, it is a sweep for the Toms River Public Schools. East winning, North winning, and Toms River South stuns Barnegat in overtime, 13-7. Well, that's a shocker, Ed.
Yeah, that is. And if Donovan could hold on here, it's been a long time, when all 4 Toms River schools have won on the same night. First of all, they never, ever play on the same night.
Very rare. You're right.
Same weekend.
Boro offense back on the field. A pitch. Nearly lost it. And getting to about the 45 was Kyle Komanitsky. Gains a couple on the play. What could have been a fumble there, tackled by Laughlin.
Well, we heard a lot about Laughlin as a running back. Came into tonight's game with 267 yards rushing on just 29 carries, averaging over 9 yards a carry. I have really been impressed with his defense. Played a really good game from his outside linebacker spot.
2 receivers left for the Panthers as Romer is going to take this one himself. Gains maybe a half yard on the play before he's brought down.
It's still not too late for Boro to panic. It's not, they don't have to panic just yet with 9 minutes now and running, 9:20 and running. 2 touchdowns is not insurmountable for the flex bone offense.
No, but they've really been a kind of punch and Judy type of offense tonight. And
the kickoff might have thrown a little
life,
injection into him. Let's see what happens here now.
3rd down and 8 for Point Boro as we cross the 9-minute mark left to go in the 4th quarter. Boro down 21-7. And Romer's looking to pass here. Fires one down the left side of the field. And in and out of the hands of Kyle Komanitsky just outside the Griffins 20. In between a couple defenders there. Komanitsky nearly came up with it, went in and out of his hands and hit the turf. And that'll bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, I think you still got a punt here.
Komanitsky, by the way, was open, ran the post pattern, had a good step and a half, 2 steps on the defender. They just could not connect, and I think Point Boro is indeed going to punt it here.
Yeah, still 8:49 left on the clock. They just got to come up big on defense.
Komanitsky out to punt for the Panthers. Menta backpedals to about his 25 to receive the punt.
If you've got a fake punt, here's where you might run it.
And Komanitsky, a player with plenty of speed. 8:49 left to go. His punt goes off. Menta looks for it at just outside the 20. Gets hit as he looks to get the ball, and the ball falls loose. A flag on the field.
I don't know what the official was waiting for.
Menta got drilled.
He didn't call a fair catch.
Yeah,
however, you still can't hit the guy.
Yeah, he hit him before the ball got there.
That is correct.
That's an easy call for the officials.
I don't think he could get it out of his pocket. That's what happened, Kev.
That's getting cold. His hands might be cold.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, fair catch. Not fair catch, but interference on the catch.
Yep.
And that'll give the Griffins a few more yards as they
that'll
take the
help.
ball over.
That'll help the field position for sure, because that will be a 15-yarder.
Sure will.
That's a 15-yard penalty.
Griffins take the ball over with 8:39 left to go in the 4th quarter, up 21-7 on 3 Ryan Clark touchdowns.
Well, one drive here, even if they do not get in the end zone, a couple of first downs will make it so difficult for the Panthers to come back in this one.
Griffins looking to develop a long drive of their own. Boro, a 12.5-minute drive to start the second half, and they came up empty-handed. Clark in the shotgun sends Bivens in motion. Bivens gets the carry to the right, to the 40, gets tripped up, and runs out of bounds towards the 44. Looks like a Panthers defender tried to grab his ankle there, and Bivens gains about 6 or 7 on the play.
See Romer over there and McCloskey over there on the Point Boro sideline where that tackle was made. There's a Donovan Catholic player who's slow to get up.
At the 44.
That's the 3rd time they've run Bivens on that play. They've gotten positive yardage every time. That time gaining a little more than 8.
And
I think it was the tight end.
Limping off the field is
Capone.
Ethan Capone.
Yep.
Under his own power, but in a little bit of a limp. He's a little frustrated as he gets to the sidelines. 8:29 left to go in the 4th quarter. Griffins leading 21-7.
Boy, if you're Donovan Catholic, you just want to, as Ed said, a couple of first downs here, keep the ball on the ground, Let that clock roll. You'd be happy to get out of here with a win.
2nd down and 2. 3 receivers split left for the Griffins. 2 right. Clark alone in the backfield in the shotgun. Fires one left, looking for more. Moore grabs it at the 45. Trips out of a couple tackles and spins for a couple more. Gets to the 39-yard line with a big first down for Donovan Catholic.
So much for that. Just run the ball and get out of here.
I was just going to say, that's what I like about Chip LaBarca Jr. He's a riverboat gambler, you know. Of course, it was 2nd and a yard, so that's not a bad situation to put the ball up in the air. And Clark is on the money tonight in anything that he touches. So if he's riding high, keep riding him. That's a good call right there.
Same setup here. 7:52 left to go in the 4th quarter. 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right. Clark in a lot of trouble, and he goes down. Big sack just outside the 46-yard line as Clark goes down in a big loss of about 7 or 8 yards.
Well, he went for the cutthroat right there. As good a call as that was on 2nd and short, I didn't like that one on 1st.
That was Colby Biggs who brought the pressure.
2nd and 15.
We'll give him the sack. Tuzolino also in there as well.
That'll bring up a 2nd and 15 for the Griffins. As we head to the 7-minute mark left to go in the 4th quarter, Griffins leading 21-7. 3 Ryan Clark touchdowns tonight. Clark is going to roll right with this one, taking himself to the 45, to the 40. Gets past the original line of scrimmage, plus some extra down to about the 33-yard line. Ryan Clark with a run up the Point Boro sidelines.
Komanitsky finally makes the stop.
That's been the Ryan Clark show tonight, guys.
Yeah, he's been good.
There's
no question about it.
Right now, if this one holds true to form, there's no doubt who our player of the game will be. That's for sure. I don't think we even have to vote on it. But still got 6:20 to go. Dan Curcione yelling at his players, stay in bounds.
3rd down and 3. Clark gives this one up to middle.
Or score.
And down to the 5 and into the end zone is Damian Johnson for the Griffins touchdown.
Well, I think they call that the icing on the cake. Damian Johnson, who came into tonight's game only with 15 carries, but again, the Nasir Calhoun injury means other guys get a little more time, and he made the most of that one with the touchdown run. Torres will be in to try and make it 4 for 4 in extra points tonight.
Short a man. So we're not really too far from the ocean, are we?
No.
Was that cake by the ocean, Kev? You said it was icing on the cake.
Okay.
This kid's got a foot.
Kicked by Torres, spins a little bit, and it goes through the uprights nonetheless.
Of course, that one shaved the
28-7 Griffins on a Damian Johnson touchdown run. Griffins leading big. 6:06 left to go in the 4th. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to the Jersey Mike's Game of the Week on 92.7 WLBM and ShoreSportsNetwork.com.
If you need orthopedic care, turn to Seaview Orthopedics. They have a specially trained staff of board certified.
Do you want a 30 or 60 here?
In general orthopedics, as well as joint replacement, sports medicine, arthritis care, physiatry, pain management, and pediatric orthopedics. They believe in earning the trust of their patients and their families, not only by providing the highest quality and leading-edge medical care, but also with sincere compassion. To find a location near you, visit SeaviewOrtho.com.
36-month lease with approved credit through TFS Corolla 5189 or RAV 44988 to assigning $0 security deposit. Excludes tax tag title 439 doc fee 10K miles per year. Ends 10/31/2018.
Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
Sign and Drive is going on now at Gateway Toyota. New 2019 Corolla LE CVT or 2018 RAV4 LE. Your choice. Drive only $99 a month.
Get it all at Gateway Toyota.
TomsRiverGatewayToyota.com.
Now back to Jersey Mike's Ocean County football
on 92.7 WOBM and ShoreSportsNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter. Jersey Mike's Game of the Week. Komanitsky on the kick return for the Panthers as they set up outside their own 20-yard line, now down 28-7 after the touchdown run by Damian Johnson of the Griffins. 4 touchdowns tonight, the last by Johnson, the first 3 by quarterback Ryan Clark. Under 6 minutes left to go, and a big hole for the Panthers to overcome here late in the fourth quarter.
Well, I would think this constitutes panic time if you're Point Boro. And you can't have a much worse offense to try and come back like this than what they run.
And a pitch. Now the pass going, and this one intercepted! Midfield by John Schlendorf.
Well, Schlendorf did not get fooled on that, the option pass, as he was on his man all the way, and I'm sure he was told to keep an eye out after stuff like that. And did a great job, had inside position, and really just went up and got it, and Griffins go back on offense. And I went from icing on the cake, Ed, to nail in the coffin.
Yeah, there you go. By the way, Mr. Clark, Ryan Clark, 165 yards on the night, and that includes minus 25 on those bad snaps.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they give the negative yardage to the quarterback on them.
Griffins take over with 5:50 left to go in the fourth quarter, up 28-7. Bivens gets the carry as he rolls to the right. Gets to midfield and then pushed down about a yard or two later.
So I think it's safe to say we can look ahead a little bit, and for Donovan Catholic, it'll be a playoff game next week. In all likelihood against St. John Vianney. Now, whether that game is here or there, we won't know until sometime Sunday. They also still scheduled to play Manchester on November 16th. That is a regular season game. For Point Boro, it looks more and more like it'll be a consolation game somewhere next week.
Second down for the Griffins, and getting the carry up the middle and swallowed up by half the Point Boro defense at midfield.
That was Laughlin with the carry.
Bringing up a third down, just under 5 minutes left to go in the final quarter.
Our friend Joanne DeAnton from Donovan Catholic, who basically runs the school here, despite what anyone says, has just brought us up some sandwiches.
Joanne's the best.
I guess it's what didn't sell tonight, right? Yeah.
Get the leftovers.
Okay. We're good. Thank you very much, Joanne.
Thank you, Joanne.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, Joanne does it all here at Donovan Catholic.
She almost didn't let me in the gate tonight when I got here. At
we told her not to.
Quarter after 5.
Clark rolls right on this one, looking to throw, tosses one, falls incomplete, looking for Capone, and that'll bring up a fourth down.
I don't understand that call, Eddie, but I'm just trying to kill clock here.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of here.
Especially with the running game the Griffins have.
She said to me as I was coming in the gate, "Oh, you're with Kevin Williams." I said, No, you're wrong. He's with me.
Fourth down, the Griffins will punt here with 4:12 left to go in the fourth quarter. And back to receive at his own 13 is Christian Oran. Clock not running, waiting for the ball to snap. There it is. And a high, booming punt that spirals. Another poison call made as the ball bounces out of bounds at the 30-yard line, right next to Ed Sarluca.
I had my arms up.
I was looking for the fair catch, yeah.
But then I remembered
the last time
somebody got creamed on the catch, so I got out of the way. But anyway, right on the 30-yard line, that one went straight up in the air. And
by the way, Ed, interesting scheduling note for Point Boro, who apparently is headed to a consolation game. Those games next weekend will either be played Thursday or Saturday. Cannot play on Friday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I read that today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Consolation games are Thursday night or Saturday.
Panthers set up on offense. All ran with a carry. Gets to the 35.
See, now, Vin, we can say that this flexbone offense is not a 2-3 touchdown come from behind type of offense.
Ed, I'm going to give you another upset score in just a moment.
Romer with the pitch to the right side. Up the right sideline as Komanitsky gets past midfield and pushed out of bounds at about the Griffins' 46.
That was really the first time they've been able to get the pitch man really moving. Middletown South, final score, has beaten Rumson 14-7.
That was a recovery game for both teams, both having been beaten the prior week.
Yep. So Rumson will take a 2-game losing streak into the playoffs next week.
First down for the Panthers. 3:37 left to go in the fourth. Romer in a lot of trouble and brought down in midfield.
Might have cost them a 1 seed, possibly.
Aldrich on the stop for the Griffins.
Wow. And how about this, Ed? Red Bank Catholic is leading Middletown North 24-21 late in the game.
This is a give up the middle. Moving to the right side is Bobby Cooper. Gets past the 40-yard line. Not enough for a first down. It'll bring up a 3rd and short for the Panthers.
Going into the fourth quarter, Jackson Memorial leading Freehold Township 7-0. That's a big game for Freehold Township. Well, actually, both teams.
Man in motion. Cooper gets the carry again. Gains about 3 or 4 on the play. Looks like enough for a first down as he crosses towards the Griffins' 35-yard line. And it is a first down. 2:45 left to go in the fourth quarter. Panthers down 28-7, now in a hurry-up offense. Pitch to the right. Komanitsky almost looked like he wanted to throw, kept it for himself, and gained a couple yards on the play before he was swallowed up by a couple Griffins defenders, including Cameron McNair.
Well, Kev, we could be thankful that we're not at Brick Memorial when homecoming and senior night just ended halftime.
I would have gone home.
And Long Branch got on the board as the third quarter started. It is 33-14 Long Branch in that one early in the third quarter.
We've got a timeout here. We'll keep it here, Vin, and we'll let you know that coming up at the end of this game, it'll be our Jersey Mike's Ocean Trophies Player of the Game. And I think we can announce who it is, right?
Yeah, I think so.
We're good with that,
He's
Greg?
had a pretty good game.
It'll be, as you can see if you're watching home, it'll be Ryan Clark, the junior quarterback for the Griffins.
3 big touchdowns tonight.
Had himself a whale of a night, about 160 yards plus rushing and 3 big touchdowns.
83 of those yards in the last touchdown he scored.
So Ed will have a conversation with him. It'll be the highlight of Ryan's night.
Yeah, I just had one with him right there, you know. I told him he had about $170 and three touches.
Romer looking to pass here. Fires one down the right side and falling out of bounds and incomplete, intended for Oran Komanitsky there, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11.
As quick as that third quarter went by, 24 plays of it, no stoppages. That's how slow the last 2 minutes have gone.
Yeah.
Griffins offense had plenty of time to prepare a game plan for the second half, and they scored 2 quick drives in the fourth quarter to put themselves up big. They lead 28-7 here. 2:18 left to go in the final frame. Romer back to pass, tosses one in the flat, and gaining a couple yards on the play before he's brought down is Christian Oran. That'll bring up a 4th down for the Panthers.
Big hit from Laughlin and Nacero.
No, you got to give Point Pleasant Borough a little bit of credit because their halftime adjustments were outstanding, and they put together that big 24-play drive. The unfortunate, obvious part was that they couldn't finish it off.
Yeah, that was really the key to the game, Ed, not getting in on that 4th down.
Without a doubt.
And then just a couple minutes later, it was 83 yards for Clark, and it was all over.
Romer in a lot of trouble, and he goes down at the 35-yard line. A big sack by number 52, Dominic Brogna. And that'll be a turnover on downs for Point Boro. Griffins take over with 1:35 left to go in the game, and they lead 28-7.
Brogna is the freshman offensive lineman, started at left guard we talked about. He has played a lot of defense, I think, since the loss of Kenmore to the ejection, and he has come up with a lot of big tackles. He's been very impressive. Just a freshman. And the Griffins will certainly go into the victory formation here, take a couple of snacks, and get out of here with a
and
well-deserved.
There's the first one by Clark. As the clock will roll here.
Well-deserved 28-7 win.
This is where the referees take over and bide their time before they start the 35-second clock, so that there does not have to be another play run in this contest.
This crew's done a good job tonight.
Oh, I think they've
been
done
a
an
well-officiated
outstanding job.
game.
Is that Tommy Sturdivant, right?
I think it was Bobby, right?
Bobby Sturdivant. Sorry. His brother, Tom.
Clark waiting for a couple more seconds to tick off. He takes a knee on second down.
Should only have to run one more, Vin.
50 seconds left to go in the fourth.
Maybe not. Might be two more. 43, 42.
Griffins will improve to 5-2 with the victory.
35 seconds. He started it at 35. Outstanding. Doesn't have to run at all.
That's a good official.
That is an excellent official. By the way, we didn't mention the lights down here. New lights here at Donovan Catholic.
Yeah,
with
they're
the new
beautiful,
field.
aren't they?
Beautiful lights.
Very similar to the lights we saw at Central.
Yes,
the new lights
exactly.
at Central.
There's
right?
your ball game, guys.
And that's it. Final score, Griffins 28, Panthers 7. 3 touchdowns tonight by Ryan Clark, the quarterback, including a big 83-yard touchdown that pretty much put the icing on the cake. Damian Johnson adding one in for the Griffins late. And a big game for the Griffins with a lot of momentum heading into the playoffs next week.
Well, the Griffins improved to 5-2. The Panthers dropped to 2-6. Both teams will be in the same boat, and now wait to see who they play next week and where. The difference is, for Donovan Catholic, it'll be a playoff game, which is, of course, one of the goals of every team when they start the season. The players are now going to go through the handshake line, and then Ed will grab our Ocean trophies. Jersey Mike's player of the game, Ryan Clark.
Griffins taking this one 28-7. And, you know, think about this. A couple years ago, Griffins 0-10. And then last year, Dan Curcione takes over as the head coach. They get 4 wins, improve to 4-6. Now at 5-2. 2 years after not winning any games, they've won 5 here. And they'll be heading into the playoffs for an opponent to be determined, but momentum they needed in what could have been perceived maybe as a trap game for the Griffins. They took care of business tonight.
They surely did, and you know, on the heels, I know Ryan Clark had the big night, and he's getting the plaque, but I think the offensive line for the Griffins did an outstanding job tonight. So we'll head down to Ed. He's got our Jersey Mike's Ocean Trophies player of the game, Ryan Clark.
Our Ocean Trophies player of the game, Mr. Quarterback, Ryan Clark. Congratulations, Ryan. I told you a little bit on the sideline there, about $170 and 3 big touchdowns, including the big 83-yarder. Tell us about that play.
My line did an amazing job blocking and really opened up the hole for me to pull one in the end zone, you know, back up against it too. That's what we really needed to get us back in the swing of things and get us our momentum back.
You know, I thought the offensive line all night, inside and outside, with Bivens running outside. You had your way just about all night.
Yeah, I mean, I just got to give it up to my offensive lineman and then Bivens for opening up other plays. You know, I love these guys, and I would do anything for them. And, you know, they're my team, and I would always stick with them.
Well, you know, it's a huge win with playoff implications. We can finally talk about the playoffs. They are here, guys. Tomorrow you'll be scouting, and you'll be talking about the team that you potentially will play, and it may be St. John Vianney.
Yeah, that'll be a really good game. You know, I love playing these big games, especially a playoff game, and, you know, just can't wait to play another game.
And you like to play it here, right? You like to be that 4 seed, wouldn't you?
I would love to be that 4 seed, play another game in front of the home crowd. It's amazing.
Well, it was a great crowd tonight on homecoming. A lot of people in the stands on both sides. Congratulations to you. You've been out here since your freshman year. You've progressed each year. And I know anything that happens this year will set up a big year for your senior year next year.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Ryan Clark, our Ocean Trophies player of the game. Nice young man. We had him on the show a few weeks back, and he's nothing but class. Handles himself very well.
All right, Ed, thank you. As before Vin puts the official wrap on it, our special thanks, first of all, to the athletic director here at Donovan Catholic, Joe Gomolka, who really should have been riding in the first car for homecoming, but he yielded as the main guy. And we want to thank Joe and, of course, the staff here at Donovan Catholic for hosting us. They were great hosts to us tonight. We really do appreciate it. Of course, the coaching staffs of both teams, Dan Curcione and his staff from Donovan Catholic, and Brian Staub and his guys from Point Boro. Our outstanding crew. And, yeah, Jenna. You got Jenna on there? There she is. We had Jenna operate the camera tonight. She did a great job.
She did.
Yeah, she was outstanding. We want to thank Jenna for her help tonight. Also, of course, here, Tom Tremblay, Greg Lerner. There goes the monitor. And Vin, here's your cue now. And back at the studios, Scott
Hasdovic. Scott
there
the
you
man,
go.
Scotty H.
All right, Vin, and you'll put the final closing on this one. But good job, good working with you. Hopefully we'll have a game somewhere next week. Check out shoresportsnetwork.com for all your high school football action.
Appreciate that, Kevin. Once again, the final score here at Donovan Catholic High School. The Griffins taking this one 28-7 on the final regular season game before the playoffs begin. And a much-needed win heading into the playoffs. Point Boro will likely settle for a consolation game next weekend. For all of us here at the Shore Sports Network, Kevin Williams, Ed Sarluca, and the entire crew, I'm Vin Ebenu saying so long and good night, and we'll talk to you soon. You've been listening to the Jersey Mike's Game of the Week on 92.7 WLBM and watching it live at shoresportsnetwork.com.
Jersey Mike's Ocean County Football on 92.7 WOBM and Shore Sports Network.
Yep, have a good night, guys.
And powered by Toyota World of Lakewood, your Jersey Shore dealer on the border of Brick and Lakewood.
Participating sponsors were Seaview Orthopedic and Medical Associates and Bum Rogers Crab House.
Join us again next week for another Ocean County football matchup.
Stay up to date on all the latest football news and more
at shoresportsnetwork.com. Jersey Mike's Ocean County Football on the Shore Sports Network.
92.7 WOBM FM, Toms River.
A Town Square media station.
I found a love for me. Darling, just dive right in. Follow my lead. Well, I found a girl